going to give you this mic back. But what I'm going to say to the ladies that been told that you cannot have, you tell the devil you's a liar.
Bueno, que lo que miente. Welcome to my universe. Welcome back to my universe. Welcome back to another response to your questions. I'm not sure what I want to call this segment right now. So for now, I'm just responding to your questions. For this person, actually, before I acknowledge you, I just want to say I do receive emails from time to time and they just contain maybe one sentence or a few words. I do not respond to those emails. If you're going to send me an email about your questions and concerns, then send the question and send the concern. Do not send me an email saying, hey, I watched you on YouTube and I had a question about emancipation. Ask your question. I'm not responding to you if you don't ask the question, because I get some emails and I don't know if they're spam emails. I don't know if it's some kind of troll. I responded to somebody once who said they had questions about emancipation. The person never responded back. So I'm not wasting my energy responding to people's emails. My form of responding to you is by making these videos where I'm responding to you in this format. So ask your question, send it to me, and I will respond at some point. I'm actually going to create a form that you can use directly. Also, something I wanted to say is if you're using the contact form on my website to ask me questions about emancipation, that's fine, but do not send me your phone number and do not fill in your address. Those fields are not required. If it does say required for you, just put in something like N/A, which means non-applicable or not available. Do not put your email or your actual physical address or your phone number. Do not ask me to text you. I don't know you. Why would I text you? I don't know who you are. I'm not going to give you my real phone number and text you because I don't know you. And you have not shown me anything to make me feel safe and like it's okay for me to be texting you. I don't need all your personal information. I don't even need to know your last name. If you feel comfortable telling me that information, that's great. I'm not going to share it with anybody anyway, but I don't need all the personal information. It's very straightforward. If you have a question, send the question via the email. Very straightforward, very simple. Anywho, let me get on to this email from this person. All right. So as usual, I'm not saying your name, but I do see that you put your full name here. It says, hello, my name is such and such. I am 16 years old and I'm about to be 17 on this day. And oh wow, your birthday is coming up. Happy almost birthday, girl. And it says, and I am from such and such, Kentucky. I want to get emancipated, but I don't know if I fit the criteria or if I'll be starting a case for nothing. My parents are emotionally abusive and have a couple of times physically abused me as well. Lord have mercy. It says they won't let me get my driver's license or let me have a phone or talk to anyone or leave the house. Girl, sounds like you are a prisoner. Sounds like my situation. My God. It says, I have saved up $5,000 all by myself, but my parents froze my account. I was supposed to start a new job, but my parents made me call and quit. If I am emancipated, I'd have 2 jobs. I'd be able to choose from which would provide me with a steady income. I also have a family I trust who has offered me a place to stay, and I also know someone who would be willing to let me stay with them at least temporarily. The biggest concern I have is if my parents will even give me consent to leave. They're doing everything that they can to control me. They said themselves that I have the choice to run away and just leave. The emancipation process would be easier as well as safer and wiser. If there's any way you could get back to me, I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Wow. Wow. So it sounds like your parents are crazy as hell, and it sounds like they're quite stupid. They want to freeze your accounts and they want to prevent you from getting a job and being able to provide for yourself. But then at the same time, they're telling you to just run away and leave. It sounds like they are some god awful people. It sounds like they are some evil people. That's just my opinion. You don't have to agree with me. But any parent that would deliberately make it difficult for you to support yourself and then not agree to support you sounds like an evil son of a bitch, if you ask me. That's just my humble opinion. Sorry, girl, not to talk shit about your parents, but I mean, you say that they've abused you emotionally and physically. That's already, signs for you to leave, because abuse only takes more, it only takes on more and more forms the longer that you stay in that abusive environment and abusive relationship. The fact that you say that $5,000 is incredible. Good job. Good job. Honestly, like that's pretty awesome, girl. You should be proud of yourself. But the fact that they froze your account means that you may have a really hard time getting that money back. Like, you're going to, even if you were to get emancipated, you're going to have to go to the branch office of your bank, and you're going to probably need to submit documentation. Since you are a minor, they may be reluctant to give you your money without involving your parents. Now, as for this emancipation process, if your parents are not going to support you, if your parents are telling you to just run away and leave, which you're right, it's not a good idea, then I don't think they're going to support you in the emancipation process. The fact that you have people who are willing to take you in is good, because if push comes to shove and if things get really, really bad, it sounds like you are at least able to pick up and run away if you need to. If you need to, it's good that you at least have a place where you can go. You said that you have family. Now you need to ask yourself if your family can be trusted, because there are some family who say that, you are welcome to come stay with them, but when shit hits the fan, if they're afraid of the police, if they're afraid of the law enforcement, they may send you right back into the arms of your mom or your father. They may literally allow your parents to come into the house and pick you up and abduct you. The thing about when you're 16 is you're able to go to a shelter. You don't have to go back to your parents. You may be labeled a runaway, or you may be able to talk to somebody like and in the city hall or city council, and they may be able to waive that for you or alert the police in the town so that they know if something happens, you should not be labeled as a runaway. That's what happened for me. I actually went to city hall and talked to somebody that the woman who was my legal guardian knew, and I told them that I was afraid that something was going to happen and I may have to run away soon. And I don't think I was ever labeled as a runaway, but I put the city on high alert so that I would have somebody vouch for me and be able to contact law enforcement and say, scrub that shit from her record. She's not a runaway. Her parents were just really, really toxic and unfit to raise her. For your situation, that might be helpful for you to do something like that if you're even able to. The fact that you have $5,000 is really good, but if your account is frozen, then it sounds like you don't actually have 5,000. Have you talked to your parents about wanting to get emancipated? You said that they said so themselves, that you have the choice to run away and just leave. But obviously running away is not ever really a good idea unless it's absolutely necessary, for your safety. And then even at that point, when you go before the judge or before your lawyers to pursue emancipation, you can tell your parents that you're going to tell the judge, or you could have your lawyers convey to your parents that you are going to tell the judge what they have done to you. You can tell the judge that they've frozen your account and why. You can tell the judge that they don't allow you to get a driver's license, and that they are not equipping you with any means to take care of yourself. That's what your parents are supposed to be doing. They're supposed to be preparing you for life as an independent in this world. And the fact that they are preventing you from doing any of that goes to show they're not doing their jobs right as parents. Listen, I think when it comes to emancipation, it's always a good idea to pursue it. You never know if you don't try. I know my lawyers were really scared because when they contacted my father said, no. He said, I'm not going to go through with this process. I'm telling you right now, I don't even want to go to court. I'm not going to go through with it. Well, guess the fuck what? I said to my lawyers, we're going through with it. I didn't contact you all and write this damn petition for no reason. So I've already contacted you. I've already met with you on several occasions. We're going through with the process. And by the grace of this universe, by the grace of God, by the grace of whomever, I was granted the emancipation. But I wouldn't have if I didn't go down to the courtroom or courthouse and stand before that judge and talk to her and let her read my petition. Your petition may help your case if you're a strong writer, or if you have some good lawyers who are strong writers and who are willing to really advocate for you, then they may be able to write a compelling petition for you to present to the judge. As you may know, if you saw my videos about emancipation, then you may know that I actually wrote a pretty good petition myself, and the judge really liked it. And she was able to see a good sense of my character, even though I only talked to her for like a few minutes. So the petition will help you too. But yes, I definitely encourage you to search up pro bono or free lawyers in your area. The word pro bono is actually two words, PRO space BONO. Search up pro bono lawyers near me. Search up the law firm, do some research on the law firm, excuse me. Make sure that the lawyers are legitimate, and make sure that they are willing to advocate for you, and make sure that you're on top of it if you're really serious about leaving. And consider your options. You said that you have family that's willing to take you in. That's really good. The judge will want to know that you have money, that you have a job, and that you have a place to stay. The fact that you actually have been trying to get your license, and you've been trying to get what else did you say? I'm looking at your email now. You said that you tried to get your driver's license. Oh yeah, and you tried to get a job. That's good. That will show the judge that you have been doing everything that you can to enable yourself. Another thing that I think you should consider, because it may help your case, is just letting the judge know that you would like to pursue emancipation, because it will also help you support yourself for college. Now, I did go off to college, but if you saw the video, then you would know I left 2 weeks later. I left 2 weeks later, but that's for, other reasons. I literally had no choice. I had to like pay out of pocket for the entire semesters, like $30,000 or whatever, or I just had to go. So I chose to go because I'm not giving no damn school $30,000 for no damn diploma, no damn piece of paper. No, thank you. I'm gonna keep my 30 grand. But yeah, that also helped my case tremendously too, because I was able to tell the judge, like, my parents cannot even support me financially. My parents told me a long time ago, if I want to go to college, I have to do it myself. So emancipating myself would allow me to be independent. It would take the burden off of my parents, and it would also allow for me to get more support for college. Even if you don't know what the hell you want to do, the judge will want to hear that you're at least thinking about college, and you're thinking about furthering your education, and you're thinking about equipping yourself with more things to help you in this life. Like a degree is not necessary in our generation and in this time anymore, but it doesn't hurt necessarily your resume if you have a degree, or if you can put that on your resume, right? So yeah, I think that will help you if you can include that in there as well. Or when you're standing before the judge, if you tell the judge for college, it will also help you as well. That's something that my lawyers really advise me to do, because they know that the judge wants to know if you're able to help yourself, if you're able to provide for yourself, and if you have the desire to. Remember that no judge is going to let any kid go out on the streets and, become a menace to society, or possibly become a homeless person if you actually have parents, and if your parents are saying, no, I'll just keep her here. No judge is going to want to let you out. But yeah, I definitely think that you should pursue this process. And I think that you should you should just realize that your parents are probably doing whatever makes sense to them. It doesn't have to make sense to you, and you don't have to agree with it. You should just be willing and ready to take on responsibilities for yourself. And it's possible. I was 16 when I became emancipated too. I lived with the same woman I was living with when I was 15, and I had left home, and things were not peaches and cream when I left my parents' home and lived with the white woman who was my legal guardian. If you've watched some of my videos, you might know that I had some pretty shitty experiences with her too. However, no matter how many obstacles were placed before me, I was able to persevere and I was able to overcome because I was a diligent person. I've always had to be that way. I've always had to be hardworking and on top of my shit, and I've always had to be responsible. If you think you are responsible enough, then I say just go ahead and begin living your life the way that you want to, and just be careful. Don't be so trusting. Don't trust any and everybody. Remember to always look out for yourself and protect yourself. You said that there's somebody else who's willing to let you stay temporarily. You need to, clarify what temporarily means, because you want to make sure they're not going to try to put you out of the house as soon as possible. You want to make sure that your $5,000 doesn't become their $5,000 too, because some people may feel like since you're in their house, you owe them something. When I was living with my legal guardian, she expected me to give her my food stamps card, and she just talked me into doing that because in her mind and in her words, I'm helping the household and I'm giving back and I'm contributing by giving her my $198 worth of money or food stamps every month. And in reality, that money should have just been in my pocket so that I could be able to buy my own groceries and learn how to budget my money. So you want to be very careful who you decide to live with. You're about to be 17. I was almost 17 before I got emancipated too. So I have high hopes for you. The fact that you found me, like I tell everybody else, means that you're on the right track because you're doing the research and you're actually considering this and considering what it may entail entirely for you to really become an emancipated minor at 16 or 17 years young. So I salute you. Yes, girl, yes. I definitely applaud you, and I encourage you to pursue this process. Search for some lawyers, talk to some lawyers, and see what they recommend for you. Because I think that you will probably be able to support yourself better than you even know right now, especially based on the actions you've taken already. So, yes, girl, thank you for writing me. I think that you should be able to figure out who you are based on what I will title this. I'm thinking about that right now. But yeah, thank you for writing to me. Also, for those of you who are listening, and for you, girl, I do have a Discord server that I just created. So I will respond to your email with a link to the server so that you can join the Discord group and you can talk to other people who are seeking emancipation. You guys can give each other advice and you guys can counsel one another based on what you know and what you're experiencing. I advise that you do not share the link with anybody, of course, because if you share that link with anybody, I'm kicking you out and I'm kicking the person you invited out. So I do want to make that very clear. But yes, I do advise you to join the Discord group once I send you the link. And if you have the app already, or if you're willing to download the app, it's going to be free for now. I'll keep everybody posted on when I will start charging everybody. But yes, again, for the last time, thank you so much for sending your inquiry in and for writing to me. And I support you on your journey. Stay strong, girl, because you got this. You are a great warrior. So great risings to you. Bendiciones para ti, girl. Tata, mi amores. Take care.
Gonna give you this mic back. But what I'ma say to the ladies that been told that you cannot have, you tell the devil you's a liar.